welcome to Lifestyle. I'm Denise Simons, your host, and this is a show about bringing life into your home and helping you create your style. And we do it all by giving you tips and inspiration and resources right here in Middle Tennessee to create everything you see on the show. Well, you're invited to stay with us for a packed show. We have Company East Designs is here, and they are a designing duo. Peggy Daniel and Roger Tucker. Well, what comes to mind when I think of them is contemporary coolness or good vibe or swanky. They really do some great contemporary design, and they're going to be sharing with you some ideas for vanities, and also will be showing us some before and afters of houses that they've made over in East Nashville. And have you been invited to a lot of parties lately for graduations, baby showers, weddings, and you think, what am I going to give them? It's that time of gift giving, believe it or not. And the person I always go to is Linda Berry of Bella Linea. She gives us great ideas on gift giving, monograms, and all sorts of ideas, and of course the best bedding you can get right here in Nashville. She's going to be with us. But right now, you know, we're going to live to be 100. I plan to. They say more people will live to be 100 now. And, you know, we want to stay in our homes. How can we age gracefully right where we are? Well, we're going to give you some ideas, so take a look at what we did here. When you think of aging, do you think of a nursing home or what we used to call an old folks home? Well, there's a brand new concept in interior design. It's called universal design. And that's the concept where we age in place. And instead of those sterile hospital grab bars and the rocking chairs, well, we opt out of that and we have all new options in design. We're going to be talking about that. When Anita and her husband decided to downsize, well, they chose a neighborhood where there was a community kitchen. Also, right out their back door, they could hop on a walking trail or a bike trail. But she knew that she wanted the interiors of her home to match her personality. So she called Decorating Den Interiors and got some help from Bohnne Jones.
I was rather depressed, getting much older, having to condense everything into a much smaller space. She and I walked around this little house together, and I said, oh, I'm just feeling so badly about this. And she said, don't worry, we're going to make this beautiful. It still chokes me up. And she did.
When Bohnne began decorating this room, she had a big white room, very tall ceilings, and lots of windows to work with.
The original color scheme came from my blue willow china, which I got from my mother for Valentine's Day after my engagement.
Here is a before with white walls, just waiting for a pop of color. Here's a sketch created by Bohnne of what the finished room would look like. Now, if this is senior living, I'll take it. This is the beautiful reveal of the room after. As you can see, this is great design, great space planning, addressing the windows, and also taking in consideration the homeowners' personalities. So Bohnne, come on in and tell me what you did in this room. You had some mobility and movement, things that you had to address, and also the space planning.
Right. Well, the first thing was to get seating for 6 to 8 people.
Wow.
And have motion furniture because they wanted recliner sofas.
And that's always a challenge for designers.
It certainly is, and I think we've met all the customers' needs with this beautiful sectional.
Well, let's get to the section, but first I want to look at some of the detailing that we have on the sectional here. Look at the nail heads.
Yes, we put brushed nickel nail heads.
That really brings it up to be more modern.
Right, with a traditional feel in the curves of the sofa. Then the pillows, designer fabrics.
Oh yes, I love these.
Lots of different patterns that play off all the blues and whites in the room.
I love that. And I want you to show me the motion. Can you do that?
Yes, have a seat.
Okay. Oh, this is nice. Oh, you've done a great job of marrying functionality with beauty. Now I want you to tell me about some of the accessories that you have in the room.
Well, a lot of these were the homeowners' collections from over the years. The area rug we used in a dining room in a previous home, and this time it made sense to use it here in the living room. this grapevine table was perfect. When you're having motion furniture, one of the biggest challenges is where am I going to put a cocktail table?
Now let's talk about the thing in the room that I think is so beautiful and caps off the windows so nicely.
These draperies are fabulous, and the story behind them was, of course, the blue willow china was our inspiration, and Anita had shown me a geometric pattern, which surprised me because I've worked with her for quite a while, and I didn't think she'd like it, but I showed her this fabric. She fell in love with it. This is a John Robshaw from Dura-Lee.
Oh, I love it.
It is a designer fabric, and it is perfect. The large patterns are so on trend, but it's timeless, and it will work with their home for as long as they live.
That is awesome. And I love the fact that your panels, and then you capped it really nicely at the top with the finials in a rich, warm wood. You have the finials, brackets, and the rings, and you were saying that you were using end caps instead of finials.
We did. We did that because up in the corner, there's no space. If we'd put finials,
too much projection.
Right, we'd be covering the glass, and light was so important to Anita. And so, as you can see, the honeycomb shades that we used are fully retractable. You don't even know that we have shades in these windows.
Well, I think you did a great job at completing the room with these window treatments. The open concept gave Anita a place to put her dining table and also her china cabinet. And take a look at the light fixture. You know, it brings a little modern flair in that it has a satin nickel finish, and the white crisp shades look really good with the blue willow china. I found these rice paper hangings very interesting. Anita and Marvin picked them up on a river cruise in China. We hung them on either side of the china cabinet. They just bring a lot of detail. And that's a great tip for you. Always pick up art when you are on vacation or in another state or even another country. You know, it adds a lot of interest, and it's also a great conversation piece. A few things that you want to remember whenever you're aging in place. First is that you don't have to give up beauty. Never give up beauty. You can have the window treatments, the color, and the motifs that you want in your room. Also, your furniture. Furniture doesn't have to be utilitarian to be functional. This beautiful sectional sofa was actually motorized, so remember that as well. Also, open floor space. Make sure you keep it uncluttered so that you can continue your movement. So you see, aging doesn't mean you have to get old.
Downsizing can be very difficult, but fortunately my husband and I are not hoarders. You have to let go. You absolutely have to decide what's important to you and what's not. And that's what we did. That was a very big transition for me, but I love the way it's worked out. Thanks to Bonnie.
You did such a good job in helping them transition and downsize, and I hope that you all take away some tips for you or maybe one of your loved ones, so that way all of us can age a little more gracefully. Well, up next, if you want a swanky vibe for your home and maybe a little contemporary, well, we've got Company East Designs. They're going to show you exactly how, and we're going to celebrate the Year of the Horse and show you how to create a theme party. That's all coming up when we come back, so you come back.